Hello and welcome. Welcome everyone. Welcome to the Empowered Immigrant Live. My name's Otis Landerholm. I am your host of the Empowered Immigrant Live, and I'm so happy to be with you here today. Today I'm talking about options for people who were illegally deported under Trump, and these are new, right? This is news. And so I want to share it with everybody today. But first, welcome and thank you so much for being here and for tuning in. Remember that the Empowered Immigrant Live is here to train, teach, inspire, and empower immigrants to make the most out of immigration law and to make the most out of their lives. And today our theme is options for people illegally deported under Trump. And so my question for you is, do you want to apply for a green card this year? Do you want to come out of the shadows this year? Do you want to at least see what your options are this year? Like, is this year your year? Because if so, we're almost done, right? It's November already. It's like there's no time like the present. And if you're in that situation, I'd love to help you with that. My firm is on a mission to win 10,000 immigration cases in the next 10 years. We would love for your case to be one of them. All right? So thank you to everyone for being here. If you have questions as I move forward through this topic, please submit them. I'll do my best to answer them. Okay? And we will also do this episode in Spanish in just a few minutes. Before I get into the legal topic, I like to always start with an empowerment tip, right? This is the Empowered Immigrant Live. So I love to share some words of wisdom that I've received and kind of pass them on through this podcast, all right? So what I want to talk about today are the four pillars of the good life, all right? This has its base from Aristotle. All right, so this is some ancient wisdom I'm passing on. What are those four pillars? They are health, wealth, love, and happiness. I'll repeat them. Health, wealth, love, and happiness. And the question is, how are we doing in each of those areas? All right, sometimes we're ahead in some areas and behind in others. Sometimes we're doing great in all areas. Sometimes we're not anywhere near where we want to be in any of the areas, all right? It's helpful to do an analysis, do a self-reflection on how are we doing in our life and what are the areas that we should focus on in our life. What's working well and what could we focus on right now to bring us the most improvement in our life, okay? So if we want to improve an area, we can learn. What can we learn there to make progress there, to really increase the quality in each of the four areas of our life to up-level everything else, okay? So I wanted to pass that on today. The four pillars: health, wealth, love, and happiness. Think about which area you'd like to make forward progress in and dedicate some time, all right? Learn something new in it, get a book about it, start start dedicating some focus and some attention on how to improve in that area, and you'll see results, okay? So I wanted to talk about that. Thank you for listening to that. Now I want to talk about options that are new options for people who were deported illegally under the Trump administration. So this was a dark time, all right? So imagine 2018, right? You were fleeing for your life, say from Guatemala, say from anywhere, any country. You left your home in an emergency. You and your family were fleeing. You traveled through Mexico. You finally got to the south border with you and your two children. But then because of a policy that was in place in the Trump administration, imagine that Border Patrol separated you from your kids, right? And then imagine that they processed your case, decided you didn't qualify for asylum for whatever legal reason, and then they deported you. But what about your kids? Where are your kids? How do you reunite with your kids? Maybe they don't have, your phone number. Maybe they're small children, right? Like, how do you reunite with your children? That happened. Did you know that there are over 3,000 families that were separated, children from parents, for no real reason under the Trump administration, other than that administration's attempt to just stop people from crossing the border? Pretty horrific. All right? So then fast forward to 2021. We've got a new administration, and you know something? A lawsuit gets filed. We're going to sue the government. We're going to sue the government, saying that the government violated our rights by separating us from our children, and the government needs to pay for what it did under the Trump administration. So that lawsuit got filed. Okay? Well, on the 16th of October, just last month, there was a proposed settlement agreement in that case. Okay? And so this is the options. This is what I want to talk about. The basics of that settlement agreement, it's still a proposal. It's not finalized yet. But the basics of that settlement agreement are as follows. All right? Number one, those people who got deported under that unlawful program, all right, can get paroled back into the United States. Parole for 3 years with work authorization. And during that time, they can file for asylum if they're eligible for it. And of course, if they're successful, they can stay longer. That's number one. All right? Number two, they will be given housing assistance for 1 year in the United States to make up for what happened. Number three, they'll be given trauma care, psychological assistance, especially for the children, to try and cope with the trauma that was caused by Border Patrol's policy. All right? And number four, which is my personal favorite, the government, the federal government, will be barred, prohibited for 8 years from separating children and parents again without cause. So without what the settlement agreement states is that the government will not be able to repeat this type of policy for a period of 8 years without evidence that there's child abuse happening or without evidence of serious crimes being committed by the parent. All right, in those instances, they'll have a legal reason to separate parent from children from parent. But absent that, which they had almost no evidence of that in the 3,000 plus people that were deported through that. So, so that's part of this settlement. All right, so that's basically it. That's basically it. Like, what do you think about that? Is that, historic? Is that, horrible? It's just horrible. I can't imagine. I've got kids, right? And right now they're 12 and 10. But I could not imagine being separated from my children in a strange country. That's brutal. And what do you think of that settlement? Right? Should they negotiate something better than that? I like the fact that it prevents a future Trump or a future president from doing similar things, but it only does it for 8 years. Maybe they feel like they can't legally do more than that. At least they're doing something. But could they do more? Right? That's the tension that's happening with this case. The point of sharing about it, right, is twofold. One, I want to encourage everybody to think about and know about what's happening. But two, it's like if you know anyone who's in that situation who was separated from their children under the Trump administration, please share this information with them. All right? They need to contact. It's the ACLU from San Diego is where this case is being fought. All right? And they should contact that agency, or if they get in touch with our office, we can point them in the right direction as well to be able to access these benefits and to apply for this type of parole. Okay? So that's basically it. That's what I wanted to share today. I don't see that we've gotten any questions, which is fine, but I just wanted to share it. Like this is news. This is a settlement that's happening in what is I would call it a historic settlement that is happening. Okay? The last thing that I want to say right now, because it's on my mind, our world is a delicate place, all right? And the Middle East right now, like, are you following the news that's happening in the Middle East? Gaza, Israel, everything else? Like, I'm not here to offer any solution because it's not easy, but I do want to send peace to the people on all sides of that conflict because it is my heart goes to that conflict right here. I just want to say that. All right? We've had clients on both sides of that situation, and it's not easy for anybody involved. And so I just want to send some peace to the people in the Middle East right now. Anyway, thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you for being here. I guess I'll leave it there for now. I don't see any specific questions. If you still do have questions or if you want to discuss your specific case in more depth, please feel free to give our office a call. We're here to help. We would love to help. If this content is useful for you, please subscribe to our channel in YouTube. And when you do, I recommend hitting the notifications bell so that way you can get a notification through YouTube whenever we upload an additional video with updates and news and things of that nature. And of course, if you have an immigration case, hey, please give us a call. We are here to help. We would love to help. My name's Otis Landerholm. I'm the founding attorney here at Landerholm Immigration A.P.C., where we fight for your American dream. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you on our next episode of the Empowered Immigrant Live. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.